Hello friends, today's session will be on MMR vaccine. MMR stands for measles, mumps and rubella. Okay, coming to the introduction. So firstly, measles. Okay, this measles alone contributed to around 50,000 to 1 lakh childhood deaths. Okay, so making it one of the leading cause of childhood mortality. Okay, one of the leading cause of childhood mortality. Okay, so that is the amount of burden that is adding to the society. Okay, and why it is so important is in fact shown by the fact that according to the Millennium Development Goals 4, one of the three goals is the proportion of 1-year-old children vaccinated against measles. Okay, so that is how important this measles vaccine stands. Okay, and that is why this measles vaccine and deaths due to measles, as well as the vaccine was introduced in India and as it had its widespread coverage, it has decreased from 1 lakh, around 1 lakh deaths in 2005 to just 30,000 deaths in 2012. Okay, now coming to the second vaccine, that is rubella. Why rubella vaccine? Like, though and if an adult acquires rubella, if he's in his immunocompetent state, or though a child acquires rubella in an immunocompetent state, they are going to have nothing but a mild illness. Then why still this rubella? The whole point of rubella is if the mother acquires it in the first trimester, then it will be disastrous because you will end up having congenital rubella syndrome. Okay, so we'll end up having a morbid newborn child. So to prevent this from happening, to prevent the mother from acquiring rubella in her first trimester, is this rubella vaccine. Okay, so the prevalence is around 1 lakh cases in developing countries, and India it is around 30,000. Okay, so to prevent such high morbid children in our society, the need for rubella vaccine. Next, coming to the mumps. Mumps as well can cause such picture, something similar to congenital rubella syndrome. Mumps as well can be congenitally acquired, and if acquired in children or in adult, it can cause rarely aseptic meningitis, encephalitis, orchitis, oophorytis, pancreatitis, deafness, etc. So it has a widespread clinical manifestation. Now coming to a small note on history of MMR. Okay, in our universal immunization program, it was first introduced in 1985 as just the plain measles vaccine. Just the plain measles vaccine. It was introduced long back in 1985. Okay, so it was just a single dose between 9 to 12 months. Okay, fine. Next, what happened in 2010? In 2010, we recognize that when given at 9 months, the efficacy of vaccine is much lesser as compared to 12 to 24 months, because the whatever antibody is present in the whatever antibody is passed on by the mother to the child, okay, stays on almost up to 12 months. So even if we give vaccine, it will be neutralized by the maternal antibodies. So there is no role for new antibodies to form. Okay, so the efficacy of vaccine is much lesser when given at 9 to 12 months as compared to that given after 12 months. So that is why the need for second dose was recognized, and universal immunization program included 2 doses, one between 9 to 12 months and other between 16 to 24 months. Okay, fine. Then why still the need of vaccinating the child at 9 months? Because of the high rate of transmission in our country. We'll have to give it at a slightly earlier, okay, rather than giving it after 12 months. Fine, because the antibody would have started waning off by 9 months, so there is a high chance of transmission. Next, coming to when did this rubella come into picture? Rubella came into picture with MR campaign in 2014. Once it was made sure that around 80% of the population was vaccinated against measles, this MR campaign came into picture. So the prerequisite was 80% of measles vaccination to achieve herd immunity. Once this was achieved, a nationwide MR campaign was started between the age group of 9 months to 15 years. Okay, so all aged between 9 months to 15 years, irrespective of their previous measles or rubella vaccine status, were vaccinated against MR. Following this, MR came to be included in our routine national immunization schedule. Okay, so this is small thing about the history. Next, coming to the vaccine per se, it is available as MR vaccine under the national immunization schedule or MMR vaccine as advised by IAP. Okay, so it is nothing but a live vaccine. And coming to the strain, it is the Edmonston Zagreb strain for measles, RA273 for rubella, and mumps there are multiple strains like Leningrad Zagreb or Zagreb 3 or Gerillin strain. Okay, formulation, it has to be reconstituted because it is in powdered form, lyophilized form, provided with the diluent. Okay, coming to the dosage, both are available as 0.5 ml, so 0.5 ml should be administered. Okay, content is 1000 CCID of each of the virus particles. Okay, site, MR can be given both subcutaneous and IM, but MMR is recommended to be given as subcutaneous, and usually it is given in the upper arm. It is usually given in the upper arm, both of the vaccines. Coming to the storage, when it comes to MR vaccine, shelf life of around 24 months, as long as 24 months at 2 to 8 degree Celsius. Okay, but once it is reconstituted for use, this is important, it should be discarded by 6 hours of opening or at the end of immunization, whichever happens earlier. Okay, coming to the MMR, this amount of long-term storage is possible only if it is frozen. Okay, for our daily routine use, we can store it at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, but it will not have such long shelf life. Okay, even in this case, if it is reconstituted, MMR is reconstituted, the storage has to be done at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, and when stored at 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, reconstituted vaccine can be used should be used within 4 to 6 hours. Okay, now what is the seroconversion rate? As told earlier, if given at 6 months, it is around 60%. If given around 9 months, it is around 80 to 85% for both measles and rubella. If it is given beyond 12 months, it is more than 95%. That is why in most of the developed countries, it is given as single dose beyond 12 months. But since the level of transmission is high, in India, it is given at 9 months. But what happens in case of a HIV child? This is an important point. In a case of a HIV child, seroconversion is much better at 6 months. Why is this? Because the immunity of the child starts to wane. Correct? There is waning immunity of the child from 6 months to 9 months. So it is better off to give at 6 months because HIV is a immunodeficiency state. Okay, and coming to MMR, the seroconversion rate is more than 90%. Okay, so what is the efficacy? If given at 9 months, MR vaccine is 89% efficacious. If it is given more than 12 months, it is 99% efficacious. This is for the measles component. For rubella component, whenever we give, it is 99% efficacious. Okay, for MMR, 60 to 90% with single dose. Okay, with single dose, 60 to 90% efficacy is present. Hence, to increase the efficacy, it is recommended to be given in 2 doses. Okay, duration, it is usually a long lasting immunity. Okay, coming to the schedule, under national immunization schedule, MR is recommended presently in 2 schedules, MR1 at 9 to 12 months and MR2 at 16 to 24 months. Coming to IAP, it is MR is what IAP recommends in 3 doses, 1, 2 and 3. That is at 9 months, 15 months and the last one between 4 to 6 years. Okay, and the minimum age to be given is 6 months because less than 6 months maternal antibodies will totally neutralize it. Okay, so in case an infant is exposed to a measles case before 9 months, then what we can do, between 6 to 9 months, we'll have to go ahead and vaccinate the child. If it is less than 6 months, mostly maternal antibodies will protect. After 6 months to 9 months, vaccinate the child. Then what about the 9-month vaccination? What about the 9-month vaccination? That time what we do is we vaccinate the child and complete the next 2 doses as per the schedule. So at 15 months and within 4 to 6 years. Okay. Next, coming to the catch-up schedule. So in children, if not vaccinated at 9 months, if they come after 1 year, recommendation is to give MMR and not MR. Okay. So all the school age children and adolescents can be vaccinated with 2 doses of MMR with the minimum gap of 4 weeks in between. So this is the catch-up schedule. Now lastly, touching to the adverse effect following immunization. For the measles component, for all the 3, the adverse effect is very minimal. So it can be something like mild pain or tenderness, okay, mild fever and rash, very rarely encephalitis, okay, 1 per million vaccinated children. Mild measles like illness can happen in 2 to 5% of the population, and thrombocytopenic purpura can occur in 1 in 30,000 population. Next, coming to rubella, the incidence of arthralgia and arthritis is slightly high, but this is not in infants, but it is among the older population, adolescents and adult, okay, females. Next, mild fever and rash can occur, lymphadenopathy can occur, myalgia can occur, paresthesia can occur, and thrombocytopenia can occur. Now lastly, for mumps component, fever, febrile seizures is possible, aseptic meningitis can occur, and transient parotitis can occur. And since these are live vaccines, contraindication can be severe immunodeficiency state, pregnancy, and history of allergy to vaccine and its component. Okay, so that's it guys. Bye bye.